All right, 8:49, everybody. And even though it's been a gloomy and wet start to the month, right? I mean, just look out your window this morning. The sun will make a comeback, yes. And eventually, that means more outdoor activities, which could potentially lead to more injuries.
Yeah, so before you ramp up your spring fitness routine, we want to show you ways to protect yourself, protect your bones, your joints. And we're turning to one of New York's top orthopedic surgeons and the co-founder of New York Bone and Joint Specialists. So Dr. Leon Popovitz and his daughter Emily are here to show us how to avoid those injuries. So good morning to both of you. Thanks for being here with us. So, I mean, like we were just saying, people are going to start heading out and doing some exercises as the weather starts warming up. What are some of the most common mistakes that you see people making that are causing injuries?
Well, what we're seeing at the orthopedic urgent centers at our New York Bone and Joint Specialists, we're seeing a lot of injuries such as ACL tears, knee injuries. We're seeing hamstring tears. We're even seeing a lot of back spasms because people are going out and about when they've never been out and about before, at least for a number of months. We're also seeing a lot of fractures because this wet weather, it's very slippery out there.
Yeah, so let's talk about things you can do, right? Because you're saying you can kind of stretch your way out of it before you even head out the door. Let's talk about hamstrings first and foremost.
Yes. So the first thing you can do to prevent a hamstring tear is stretch, stretch, stretch. Emily can show us. You can use a towel or you can use a stretch band like that, wrap it around the sole of your foot and keep your knees straight down on the ground. And then you can keep it like that and point the toes to your head and you'll feel a nice stretch.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is lie flat on your back and bring that leg up to the sky. Always keep that leg straight, the knee straight, and you should feel a good stretch in your hamstrings.
We're talking about like before you work out.
Before you work out, before you go out and about onto the field, whatever you do, a good way to prevent, especially if you haven't been very active, good way to prevent these kind of injuries is to stretch before you go.
Okay.
And another thing that happens, you were mentioning muscle spasms. What can we do to avoid that?
So a lot of things we can do is if you've been sitting in the computer all winter, the best thing to do right away is get up, walk around a little bit, stretch for at least 10 minutes every hour or so. The other thing you can do is work on your core. If you work on your core, your body has that stability to support itself. So some simple things you can do just on the floor of your living room is lie flat, squeeze your hips, and bring that pelvis up to the sky. Those are bridges, and bring it down again. You can do 20 or 30 of those every day.
Yeah.
Then you can do a plank where you support your body with your elbows and your toes. And the key is to squeeze that stomach, squeeze those hip muscles to support those core muscles.
Yeah, love a plank. Let's talk about knees. Love a good plank. Protecting the knees. Oh my goodness. Every time I go down and pick my kid, I'm like, oh, there goes the knee. And let's talk about, because ACL injuries could be big, right? And a lot of people are going to be out there biking, skating, running in the springtime as well. So how do you kind of protect the knees? Because I don't know, is there a stretch for it?
There are things we can do. So it's been shown, studies have shown that people who land from a jump with more of a using their quadriceps muscles instead of their hip muscles have a higher incidence of ACL tears. So things we can do to practice our landing is very important. So when we do jump up and then land with our knees slightly bent, feet always pointing straight, knees always pointing straight, chest up, and squeeze those hip muscles as we land. A big part of ACL injuries is also balance. So you can have somebody throw a ball, and as you go up, catch it, and then throw it back as you land.
Because if you have your knees facing outwards, what can happen?
Well, then you put a lot of torque on the central part of your knee, and you may tear your ACL.
Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. And also,
sorry, the knee injury of just picking a kid up is just old.
You being old.
Okay, got it. Old age. Yeah.
Wouldn't quite say that.
But is it true, though, if you work these muscles, though, if your muscles around your knees are stronger,
Very important, yes. Quadriceps muscles, especially the inner quadriceps muscles, the IT band to stretch, those are very good exercises to keep your kneecap and your knees stable.
Okay. It's also important to wear protective gear, isn't it?
It is, it is. So if you rollerblade, skate, even bike or run, you may want to get these these great wristbands. They actually have been shown to be helpful against wrist fractures or wrist sprains. You can also use ankle braces if you feel like your ankles are a little unsteady. They're very, very helpful, and they fit right into the sneaker.
Yeah, this is my favorite one, learning how to fall properly. But, I mean, it happens in such a quick instant that how do you really know how to fall properly?
So our instinct is to fall on our arms outstretched.
Yeah,
because
protect
we're
the
trying to
moneymaker.
That's right, we're trying to catch ourselves. That's
Face.
That's right. But if you can try to keep in mind, at least before you're out and about, hey, if I'm in an unbalanced kind of situation, what you want to do is you want to tuck your chin down into your chest. You want to bend your knees, bend your elbows, right? And then you want to try to do your best to slide and forward, slide to the side when you fall, slide to the side. You want to avoid stretching out your arm, avoid falling on your face.
It sounds, in theory, fantastic. But in the like, I came out into this. Well, I won't say where I was because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I fell. I slipped on a cable and I fell, and I went airborne, and immediately the arm goes out. And I knew, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to break something, but I didn't. But
of course.
You can't. I mean.
So don't go on your wrist, you said.
You don't.
But it's so hard not to.
You practice, practice, practice.
Practice fine. Just kidding, I'm just kidding. But again, can you show us again how to fall? So here.
Bend your elbows, bend your knees, chin to the chest, and kind of roll to the side.
So land on your side.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. Not airborne
Popovitz.
and with the wrist out. Okay, got it. Dr. Popovitz, appreciate it. Emily,
pleasure.
thank you for demonstrating everything.
Thank you so much
Good
for
to have
having
you
us.
here.